Hi, Sophia. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing well. How are you?
We're great. Thank you so much. All right, so
Awesome.
how's this gonna go is you have the 5 minute for your speech and then the 5 minute for Q&A afterwards. Richard is gonna be our timekeeper. He'll give you like a time card warning on 2 minutes and 1 minute, and you'll also see it in the chat as well. Do you have any other questions before we begin?
No, I do have a presentation. Do you mind if I screen share for that?
Yeah, I don't mind.
Okay,
Phoenix, is that
perfect.
okay? All right. If you just wanna I think I have to make you host for that real quick to
Okay,
do that.
sounds good.
Or actually, there we go. No, okay, we can. All right, go ahead and try sharing it first before we begin.
Sounds good. Okay, can you guys see that?
Yes, we can.
Perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
If I have my notes app up, can you guys see that at all?
No, we don't see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
All right, perfect. Well, if you're ready, then the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Hello, and thank you guys all for attending today. My name is Sophia Fernandez, and I am running for this year's Mafa Vice President Internal. So a quick introduction about me. This upcoming year, I will be a senior at UW-Madison, majoring in microbiology and global health on the pre-med track. At UW-Madison, our Filipino org is called the Filipinx American Student Organization, or FASO, but as I like to call it, Familia. Being a part of FASO has been one of the most formative parts of my college career and my entire life. Here, I learned what true community looks like with an ebb and flow of ideas and leadership, but also one that culminates in the support of one another mentally and physically. As a mestiza, third gen Philam, I was often unsure of how I fit into my culture. But having this incredible support system through FASO and through Mafa gave me a confidence and a sense of self I've never had before. I fell so in love with FASO that I became the marketing chair for the 2021-2022 school year. And during this time, I also had the privilege of serving as the MFAS Marketing Committee co-chair for 2022, which was held at Madison. Shout out my Jacob Chavez. Through both of these, I was able to learn the importance of editing and a skillful eye, compromise, and diffusion of ideas of concepts through the collaboration amongst many contributing partners in order to create the best product possible. In terms of deliverables, I pioneered FASO member spotlights to promote the amazing members of our org and improve morale, as well as creating countless of clear and enticing graphics for both FASO and MFAS social medias. These experiences augmented my leadership skills and my ability to facilitate proceedings on a larger scale. So for an overarching organization like Mafa, communication and professionalism are often the most important driving factors of an efficiently run board and for events. Therefore, I want to establish an early line of open communication amongst the board and interns by implementing monthly check-ins with both the board and interns to ensure that we can have effective meetings to govern the org. The intention for these check-ins is to cultivate an intimate space where individuals can air out their concerns to the full extent. This way, we can collaboratively determine the root of the problem and how to approach and address this in a larger group scheme in a more effective and professional manner. One of the skills I've developed in my years of leadership has to be a patient, relatively unbiased listener, which will aid significantly in the process of dissecting and diffusing these potential issues without igniting a stronger conflict somewhere else down the line. I believe a strong, cohesive board is the key to a successful org. And so, especially for an organization that covers so much area, I believe my abilities in this area of leadership are aptly suited to VPI. In terms of mitigating the downstream effects of the high turnover rate of Mafa board, I believe it's imperative to start prepping and recruiting earlier rather than later. This includes maintaining and augmenting the current intern program and promoting the election a little bit earlier, such as a month or two before. The intern program has historically been a great way to provide position experience, and by determining what the interns would like to get out of their experience from the get-go, it can help the interns prep for a smooth board transition. Therefore, having built-in goal setting and reflection periods for the program will help the interns have the most successful experience that will strengthen the board's future leaders. Being on previous boards has helped me realize that often nominees come from within the current board's circle. While this isn't necessarily a bad thing, I believe that the lack of information on the positions and the necessity of the positions may limit the applicant pool. If we can give informational sessions a few months in advance to the election, describing what it takes to run Mafa and testimonies from past chairs, it will help give a better picture of what applicants are intending to commit to. It can also provide more time for others to refer individuals they think could be effective in the position. And finally, it will help current applicants have a stronger foundational base of the duties of their position, which will help mitigate downstream effects. Therefore, I believe I can help be an amazing part of this amazing board. Through my ability to be proactive in conflict resolution and my desire for strong communication, I believe I would be a great asset to Mafa. Overall, I want to highlight the strength and vivacity of the Filipino culture, and that can only be done when the governing body works well and with each other. So thank you all for listening, and I appreciate any questions you have.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. That was really good. Really, really good. All right. So some questions from me. So as a VPI, you obviously have to handle internal conflicts and not and also just like other conflicts as well, like externally as well sometimes. So my question is for you, how would you handle conflicts between like Mafa board and other planning committees, and even like certain incidents between members of different schools? How would you handle that situation in the best way possible?
Yeah, so as I said, kind of in my speech, communication is the most important thing to me. I don't believe we can come to an effective solution without hearing both sides of the situation. So I would start from hearing the perspective of both sides and see what is most important to each side and what they'd like to get out of the issue. This way we can kind of find the root of the problem and where the disagreement is starting. And from there, I want both parties to be able to speak with each other respectfully, but also listening actively and not letting their own personal beliefs or passions kind of blind them from the bigger picture. So in that way, I would try to keep a reasonable head between the two parties, and then also facilitate in making sure they see that there's a bigger picture without trying to diminish their passions or beliefs. So taking a more diplomatic and open approach to this conflict resolution.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Hi, Sophia. I have a question. Ellen wasn't able to be here today, so I have a few questions on her behalf. So she would like to know if there was a time where you experienced positive mentorship and how you will foster that environment for others as VPI, especially while leading the intern program.
Yeah. So since she's not here, this shouldn't be like a suck up, but I've actually had some very positive mentorship from Ellen. She's been in a lot of the same classes as me, as well as in this resource navigator program we are in, which is a program dedicated to providing resources to patients of the Madison clinics around the area. And from there, I think the most important things she's done as a mentor for me are meeting me where I'm at, but then also promoting me to be the best version of myself. I think I personally respond better to someone who is able to see my perspective, who understands my story, instead of just coming at me from a higher power dynamic standpoint. And so that's something I would really love to emulate and give back to the people in the intern program, is understanding who they are, what problems they have from their point of view, rather than kind of just looking down from them from a top-down perspective. So being able to meet people where they are and then figure out realistic goal steps from there, I think will be not only great at getting the results we want, but also maintaining morale and well-being as well.
Great, thank you. And then my last question is, you mentioned, check-ins with board members routinely, but could you elaborate more on how you will support the Mafa executive board members?
Yeah, definitely. So as I said, monthly check-ins, I think Weekly, I will just do a quick cursory check-in, ask if anyone needs help. And if I will see if there are any disagreements with people. I know that sometimes it can be kind of tough to come to somebody about a disagreement. So being able to ask these questions, but without probing, I think that will be pretty important. So going outside of not just like business proceedings, but making sure well-being is well accounted for through these just regular check-ins on the weekly basis.
That's great. Thank you so much.
All right, well, that's time. That's well, perfectly planned. Great answers. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, going forward, well, you'll hear from us in about 2 weeks on our decision, and we'll email you then. So yeah, we want to ask, do you have any other questions for us before we let you go?
Not that I can think of right now. Thank you guys so much.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
You
you.
have a good night.
Thank you too. Bye.
All right, everyone, we'll meet again in about 20 minutes. Thank you. Oops.
First time 눈이 마주친 순간 어질어질한 이 공간 꿈속인지 헷갈려 숨이 차올라 조금 더 가까이 다가와 천천히 Can you make me feel like a diamond 다른 애들과는 달라 I'm begging for love 나쁜 건 아니잖아 이게 나라서 어디로 튈지 몰라 like rainbow bubblegum 그러니 날 꽉 붙잡아도 알아 나도 real about myself 쉽지 않단 걸 You're my one somehow You wanna try but not tonight So I'ma call my friend up take off my makeup I'ma sleep good tonight okay I wanna take it to the basics 나 wanna 서두르지 마 babe 뻔히 말해 뭐해 다할 텐데 타는 듯 뜨거운 사막 위에 예쁘게 피어난 장미 같아 조심스레 내게 다가올 때 나도 모르게 질러버릴 텐데 인자에 필요한 순간이야 정신을 놓지만 지금이야 궁금하잖아 전화기 들어 질문을 던져 대답해줄게 나도 well about myself 쉽지 않단 걸 You're my one somehow You wanna try but not tonight So I'ma call my friend up take off my makeup I'ma sleep good tonight okay I wanna take it to the basics 나 wanna 서두르지 마 babe 뻔히 말해 뭐해 다할 텐데 I wanna take it to the basics slow it down and speed it up like you on spaceship Maybe later 남겨줄게 my location 부족하다고 넌 느끼겠지만 기본에 충실한 태도일 뿐이야 우리 둘 사이 팽팽한 긴장감 놓지 않은 게 더 좋단 걸 알아 I know it feels like you're paying the price 내 모든 것을 더는 바라지 마 So let's take it back Let's take it back I wanna take it to the basics 나 wanna 서두르지 마 babe 뻔히 말해 뭐해 다할 텐데 I wanna take it to the basics slow it down and speed it up like you on spaceship Maybe later 남겨줄게 my location
丁前無邪気な笑顔で街を飛び出したいくつになってもこんなことが僕の喜びだと明日はどんな一日だろうな僕ら一緒に歩いてこうかいつもここに帰る場所があって悲しみも照らすようにそれでもいいかそれもありかな僕らの愛を分かち合おうか予想できない未来には希望をいつまでも照らして変わらない光景予想外の毎日だけどそれがいいって振り回されたりから回って目まぐるしい愛おしいよ
Situationships ain't got no correlation. Two relationships that's breaching what we chasing. And I ain't never had no patience, don't like waiting. I know what I don't and what I wanna do. It don't matter what the signs say. Baby, why you playing mind games? Can we for time's sake get straight to the point? Cause hey, it don't matter if we lie and say we only known each other 9 days. Don't say too much. We ain't gotta tell 'em about us cause we just vibing. We ain't gotta call it love cause we just vibing. Just cause you at my house 3 in the morning. You know what it is, floating like this, vibing. It's an open invitation to late night conversations. Slow jams in rotation, hands around your waist and hearts racing, embracing. Catch waves of the sensation, no overcompensations. I'm over complications, oh baby, cause it don't matter if we lie and say we only known each other 9 days. Don't say too much. We ain't gotta tell 'em about us cause we just vibing. Yeah. We ain't gotta call it love cause we just vibing. Just cause you at my house 3 in the morning. You know what it is, floating like this, vibing. If you ever need some reassurance, let me give you some insurance. Yeah. Call me your lover, your homie. I will never leave you lonely. Give it to me like you own me. Tie it up like we naughty. Oh baby, we ain't gotta tell 'em about us cause we just vibing. We ain't gotta call it love cause we just vibing. Just cause you at my house 3 in the morning. You know what it is, floating like this, vibing.
Yeah, yeah. Baby, baby, you're my sun and moon. Girl, you're everything between. A lot of pretty faces could waste my time, but you're my dream girl. You make flowers bloom, girl, you make the stars collide. And I don't know what I did to get lucky like this, but it sure feels fine. Cause you give me love and affection, I give you all my protection. I'm trying to stay by your side till the day I die. And you give me all of your love and I give you all of my trust. I know you'll never betray me, you'll leave my side. Oh my baby, baby, you're my sun and moon. Girl, you're everything between. A lot of pretty faces could waste my time, but you're my dream girl. You make flowers bloom, you make the flowers bloom. Girl, you make the stars collide. And I don't know what I did to get lucky like this, but it sure feels fine. Cause I see your face.
All right. Are we all ready? All right. Yes.
Let's do it.
All right. All right. Let him in and then we'll begin. All right. I let him in. Hi, Joseph.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good.
Okay, good. Well, how this is going to work is you got 5 minutes for your speech, and then you have 5 minutes for our Q&A afterwards. Richard is going to be our time card keeper. He'll give you a 2-minute warning and a 1-minute warning, and you will also see that in the chat. Do you have any other questions before we begin?
No, that sounds perfect.
All right, sounds good. Whenever you're ready, you have the floor.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Joseph Leeson, and I'm running for the Director of Marketing for Mafa. I have not held a position in any capacity in my collegiate year, but I have interned for my school's Filipinx organization and for Mafa as well. Importantly, in my work as a Mafa intern, I have worked closely with the current Director of Marketing in multiple rotations, learning more about what that position entails. In short, I have been closely monitoring what marketing directors have done in my organization and in Mafa externally this year, and I'm ready to jump into the position head on. What I believe Mafa's purpose is to create networks and communities that are uniquely professional and cultural. In contrast to the ethnic enclaves of the coast, there are small pockets or islands of Filipinx people in the Midwest. What Mafa does well is bridge these gaps between these islands. Mafa facilitates connections where connections are unlikely to happen. Not only are there people with similar backgrounds, Mafa allows people to see professionals that look like them through workshops or highlights. I am a firm believer that representation and visibility are strong motivators. As marketing director, I can help find prominent representations in these professional fields and share them through social media or contacting them for any events or workshops. I believe more tailored events or resources for professional development will help fulfill wants or like more access towards professional development. In my vision, I or any Mafa board member could facilitate virtual seminars with professionals if there are enough people interested in like select professions. Importantly, as the director of marketing, I would highlight events or seminars on social media with links to applications or Zooms, etc. for these. This in my mind would garner more attention to Mafa socials such as Instagram and Facebook. And importantly, I would like to organize the link tree as well to include a professional development section where it would be constantly updated with links to workshops, summits, networking opportunities for specifically Filipinx people. If an issue arises, I would like to get both parties in a dialogue with one another and facilitate an agreement between the two. As a member of the board or a planning committee, it is important to have clean and easy dialogue with each other in order to make progress towards a shared goal. Importantly, through this dialogue, a plan for the future is laid down along with guidelines so that issues won't arise in the future. It's imperative to plan now for future issues. I use a deadline buffer system in my own life. What it looks like is a hard deadline on progress milestones, for example, 50% or a main objective reached and completion. I set myself a deadline for any checkpoints I think are significant, and then a final deadline for completing the entire goal. from experience, like just visualizing like the end goal is a little daunting. So having like deadlines for movement and progress is very motivating for me and allows me to see whether or not I or group mates have made progress. What this looks like for organizations is that when coming up with a plan, like I and the people creating the plan will create a timeline of progress points or milestones that will be complete on those deadlines that we'll both work towards. To address the turnover rate for Mafa, I am a sucker for a Google Doc folder. I love a Google Doc folder. I understand Mafa has a shared Google account, and assuming that board members will all use this account, hopefully position information that has been stored into specific folders. And within these folders, I would love to organize these files into categories such as like new ideas or brainstorming, events or activities that have been received well, position resources, and many other organizational categories. Another important practice I would love to initiate are contacts of the previous position and a message or farewell address from the previous position, providing insight into these resources in these folders. This will provide not only guidance, but contact for help if needed from a person with experience in that position. In a sense, there is some bridging between old and new directors through these resources. And while it may not pertain to my position, I would love to start more community-driven activities where general Mafa members have input on what goes into them. It would engage people with Mafa socials and allow them to have input in different activities. An idea or several ideas that come to mind are like a Mafa like overall music playlist or an art festival or gallery where people can send in art or submit art, and like it can pertain to like certain categories or like prompts, depending on what MFAS or any other events need. And to conclude, I have grown to love and appreciate what it means to be Filipinx and how resilient and connected we are as a people. Being in this space of welcoming and friendly faces has been the most incredible experience that's happened to me so far, and I hope that continues for every other new member. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was really great. All right, so to begin the Q&A session, I know you talked a little bit about your goals for your position, but I wanted to ask, so if you've attended any Mafa Sphere school year events or haven't yet, what is something that you want to plan, or if you have attended, like what is something you wanted to change for the Mafa Sphere school year events, if you've attended any?
I'm sorry, can you repeat the question? It's a little, my Wi-Fi is a little busted.
No, you're fine. Yeah. So this is for if you've like attended, I guess, a Mafa year event or for any event, I guess. What is something to change for our Mafa Sphere school year events? Like if you wanted to change something differently or keep something the same, what would you want to change or highlight?
I guess since Mafa is not really like centralized in one location, I think for moving events that don't happen at a set location, I think a way to get people to come to these events would be like distance accommodation. So if people are coming from a more further area, it would like, there would be like a accommodation to help with that so more people could come.
Awesome, thank you. Richland, do you have any questions for Joseph?
I do. Hi, Joseph. Loved your speech. Very well spoken. Brand new ideas. Love it. So my question to you is, what social media accounts do you plan to use, and how would you utilize it to promote Mafa-related initiatives like fundraisers, virtual events, MFAS?
Yeah. So from my personal experience, I have used Instagram and TikTok a lot, but Instagram is where I'm mostly comfortable in. So what works currently, or like what I've seen works currently, is like just posting on stories and like posting in like the main feed. And so that it really helps garner attention there as well. But also having links to other socials, primarily from like Instagram and Facebook to one another, helps immensely with getting people to like engage with each social media page, and as well as having like a link, like another I know the link tree has like links to all the Instagram or like all the social medias, and that really helps immensely.
Thank you, thank you. Another question I have for you is, how do you plan to promote these MAFA-related initiatives in order to effectively spread the word to the MOP sphere and increase engagement on our social media platforms?
Like I said, I would originally post on these things, but also if more attention is needed, I would love to like send it out through like a newsletter or like a email system that would like say if that there's an important event that needs like registration or attention, like I would send that to like through a newsletter or a mailing system to external schools, so that way the more general people can access these forms.
I love that. One more question. So, what other new ideas do you have in mind, whether it's social media wise or just being on MAFA board for next year?
Oh, for sure. Like I said in my speech, I want to try to create more community-based like projects, such as like monthly playlists that people can submit like song requests on, or like have like art contests or like art promotion. Especially during MFAS, I found like we could have like a MFAS themed like art contest, and maybe like have these like artworks be promoted at MFAS, or like have them be around there. And so I thought like involving the community in more events would, or like in participating in more events would be a good way to engage them.
Love that. That's it for me, but thank you.
All right, well, that is time. Thank you so much, Joseph. That was really good. So going forward, well, you'll hear from us in about 2 weeks' time with our decision. You'll get an email from either me or from the Mafa email. And yeah, do you have any other questions before we let you go?
No, thank you guys for everything, and I'd love like interning with every one of you.
Oh, we loved having you. All right, thank you so much. You have a wonderful night. All right. All right, everyone, we'll meet back again at 9:30. Thank you.
When I'm sleeping, I wake up grateful to breathe in the air you float through. I wrote you a lullaby, a song to sing on your pillow, swift as a swing on a willow. My sweetest words are mid-birds in your perfect sky. Oh my baby, baby, you're my sun and moon. Girl, you're everything between. A lot of pretty faces could waste my time, but you're my dream, girl. You make flowers bloom, you make the flowers grow, you make the stars collide. And I don't know what I did to get lucky like this, but it sure feels fine. Cause baby, baby, you're my sun and moon. Girl, you're everything between. A lot of pretty faces could waste my time, but you're my dream, girl. You make flowers grow, you make the flowers grow, you make the stars collide. And I don't know what I did to get lucky like this, but it sure feels fine. Oh my, oh my. Oh my. Oh my, oh my. Yeah. Oh my, oh my. Baby, baby, you're mine.
Maybe one day I'll fall in a bookstore into the arms of a guy. We'll sneak into bars and gaze at the stars, surrounded by fireflies. Oh, I'd like to sleep until 2 on a Sunday and listen to the bluebirds sigh. Get soaked in the rain and smile through the pain. Slow dance under stormy skies. Maybe I'm just old-fashioned, read too days. That's why I'll never fall in love.
It's late, don't say you might have to leave. No, just don't think twice. Decide if you'll stay here tonight, you and I. Cause when the city falls asleep, we'll bring it back to life. Moments prior to your arrival, I'd have run off with some sham of a wife. I'd be gone. So if I'm not your man, don't play this game of pretend. And all we share is nothing but each other. It's just enough to know my feelings for her. Most nights I reside at the back of my mind. It's soundproof. No one needs to know how I'm screaming as I keep falling for you. May I jump in your heart, leave me some space, leave your doors out, lights out, open for me and you. Just us two in our little fantasies, we can be the pioneers. You stand there picture perfect and no one can put you into words. Don't you ever change a thing, love, cause every second with you is more than a blessing. And all we share is nothing but each other. I'm reaching out to you, but my hand's trembling. Most nights I reside at the back of my mind. It's soundproof. No one needs to know how I'm screaming as I keep falling for you. Maybe it's an endless sky of space looming between us. Whoa, if only I could fill the space a little with these words I wanna say to you. No, words I'd say to you. No. So have I thrown it all away, thinking she could bring out the best of me? She might see nothing in what's left of me, or what's really me. Oh, was I ever unafraid? Have I let it get the best of me? If I'm honest, I know she'll never hear me say, these nights I reside, always on my mind. It's where I keep you. Don't you know how I'm screaming as I keep falling for you? It's an endless sky of space looming between us. Whoa, if only I could fill the space a little with these words I wanna say to you. Words I'd say to you. No. No. Words I'd say to you. Whoa. Say to you. 내愛したいこれは真実ただ愛されたいのは不誠実もうどうすればいいどうすればいいのか街はいつも通り今日も折れた晴れたで色めきつつエキストラは家に帰るだけふてくされてやしないさそう ねえ愛したいこれが真実ただ愛されたいのは不誠実もうどうすればいいどうすればいいのかってわからないよその頭の中がわかんないでも愛想はいいと数えないよこうやってまた君のペースに飲まれてくそうやってまたほら振り回されてる傷つかないように鍵をかけた扉にもたれて眠りにつく変われないのは変わらないからそんなことは分かってるけどもう何も失いたくなくて大切なものが増えることに怯えていた情けない僕を笑い飛ばしてくれさあ愛し愛されてこうぜもうばっかでふりしていようぜまあどうにかなるさどうにでもなるだろう思うがままに今夜会いに行ければいいかいいや大した話じゃないよこれが愛なのか確かめさせてくれこれからも先に振り回してくれいつまでも好きに振り回してくれ
The last few months I've been working on me, baby. There's so much trauma in my life. I've been so cold to the ones who love me, baby. I look back now and I realize. Now, remember when I held you? You begged me with your drowning eyes to stay. Now I regret I didn't take you. Now I can't keep you from loving him. You made up your mind. Say I love you, girl, but I'm out of time. Say I'm there for you, but I'm out of time. Say that I care for you, but I'm out of time. Said I'm too late to make you mine. Out of time. If you mess up just a little, baby, you know my line. If you don't trust him a little, then come right back, girl, come right back. Give me one chance, just a little. Baby, I'll treat you right. And I love you like I should have loved you all the time. Now, remember when I held you. You begged me with your drowning eyes to stay. Now I regret I didn't tell you. Now I can't keep you from loving him. You made up your mind.
Don't you dare touch that dial, because like the song says, you are out of time. You're almost there, but don't panic. There's still more music to come before you're completely engulfed in the blissful embrace of that little light you see in the distance. Soon you'll be healed, forgiven, and refreshed, free from all trauma, pain, guilt, and shame. You may even forget your own name. But before you dwell in that house forever, here's 30 minutes of easy listening to some slow tracks on 103.5 Dawn FM.
Lost on the freeway. This must be LA. Tired and lonely, with no real place to stay. Is this the future? And where I'm gonna be? Last night it hit me when I had this crazy dream. I'm waking up in your house on a San Francisco street. We tune out all the nasty weather, and it's something funny, you and me. You were intriguing, predictable. Why you wanna fight it? How can we know if we don't go? Just don't stop moving your feet. It's not a straight line, it's all a part of the ride. Can we take time? Don't lose the stars in your eyes. We could stay high, or we could fall with the tide. Just ride. Just ride.
Since decade was a dream. Nothing's everything for who we used to be. Silver pouch, orange slice, lays out on my way. Yesterday was ours. Tell me, would you stay the same? 10-year joyride taking us away for sacred days, but you know that things can change. Things can change. Puffed up nosedive, stick around, we made these wasted days, cause we know how soon things change. And don't just slip away. Just been waiting here for who we used to be. Jump some double dutch, she said pack it up, blaze it on our way. Don't need your sympathy, just been listening to them say 10-year joyride taking us away. Those sacred days, but you know that things can change. Things can change. Puffed up nosedive, stick around, we made these wasted days, cause we know how soon things change. And you'll just slip away. Just slip away. Oh, no, no. Oh no, 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 just slip away. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no, 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 no. It's been a long time. No, 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 no. Oh no, 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 no. 10-year joyride taking us away. Sacred days, but you know that things can change. Things things can change. Puffed up nose dive, stick around, we made these wasted days, cause we know how soon things change. And no, just slip away. Oh, 10-year joyride taking us away. Those secret days, but you know that things can change. Things can change. Said puffed out nose dive, stick around, we ready. These wasted days, cause we know how soon things change. Oh, just slip away. Say, 10-year joyride taking us away. Those sacred days, but you know that things can change. Oh, things can change. Fucked up those lives, stick around with me. These wasted days, cause we know how soon things change. And oh, just slip away. Just slip away. One, two, three, and life moves slow in all the right places. I've been up all night staying true to my phases. If you need some company, I'll be on the move. Catch me walking in circles with both sides of the moon. It's about time I'm in line, I'm packed up, realign my moves right. I shine brighter, breathe higher, take flight. It's like just for a moment, I can't feel my mind. Just for a moment, I got my eyes closed. I'm from the city where they drive slow. Never tripping by where life goes, spinning like a rhino, moving with the time zone, the time zone. Throw all my words up in the air, burn like a fire to a flare. Fall from a star to anywhere, moments that I can't take. Head out the window, liberate. Let the wind speak from miles away. See what the colors have to say. When I pull in my lane, I let my head spin till I don't know why. I left my plans on red just to feel alive. Living ain't when the time is on pace. Minutes leave more than just a blank space. Funny how life can end up that way. I got my eyes closed. I'm from the city where they drive slow. Never tripping by where life goes, spinning like a rhino, moving with the time zone, the time zone. I got my eyes closed. I'm from the city where they drive slow. Never tripping by where life goes, spinning like a rhino, moving with the time zone, the time zone. Just for a moment, I can't feel my mind. Just for a moment. Just for a moment, I can't feel my mind. For a moment. Just for a moment, I can't feel my mind. Just for a moment. Just for a moment, I can't feel my mind. For a moment.
I guarantee I gotcha. I've been craving for your love. Can't see nobody but us. So I see you from across the room. Make my way over to you. I'm tripping over butterflies. Oh yeah, baby, I don't really mean a rush, but I don't really need your touch if I'ma make it through the night. I got the moonlight, tequila sunrise. Come and take a shot of me, I gotcha. I don't know how to say this. All of these songs on your playlist. This feeling so hard to explain. I don't even know how to talk right now. Yes, I need your cut right now. I want you to hear me say, moonlight, sunrise, baby, come be my starlight. Moonlight, sunrise, oh baby, just to make you stay. Sunrise, baby, let's do it all night. Moonlight, sunrise, I guarantee I gotcha. Driving undefeated, on your knees pleading, baby, you can heat, I'm alive when you need it. Say that you try, baby, you succeeded. Got a craving, baby, can you feed it? Took a trip on the moonlight, follow me to the sunrise. Every day, every night. Ay, come with me, don't think twice. Oh yeah, baby, I don't really need to rush, but I don't really need your touch if I'ma make it through the night. I got the moonlight, tequila sunrise. Ha, come take a shot of me, I gotcha. I don't know how to say this. I want these songs on your playlist. This feeling so hard to explain. I don't even know how to talk right now. Yes, I need your cut right now. I want you to hear me say, moonlight, sunrise, baby, come be my starlight. Moonlight, sunrise, baby, just to make you stay. Sunrise, baby, let's do it all night. Moonlight, sunrise, I guarantee I gotcha. Cause out on the table what you say, I need you, you need me, you're mine. I'm your moonlight, you're my sunrise, babe. I guarantee I gotcha. Moonlight, sunrise, baby, come be my starlight. Moonlight, oh baby, just to make you stay. Sunrise, baby, let's do it all night. Moonlight, sunrise, I guarantee I gotcha. Moonlight, sunrise, baby, come be my starlight. Moonlight, sunrise, I guarantee I gotcha. Moonlight, sunrise, baby, let's do it all night. Moonlight, sunrise, I guarantee I gotcha. Moonlight,
wanna be with you. But if by chance you let me just hold you, I'm calling, I'm free. I wanna see you, baby. Ooh, when in need, you said you wouldn't be here, and you hold the key to my memory, baby. I love you, baby. If you are that special lover, and love keeps you tied to another, that's the way it goes on love's train. Sometimes heartstrings can't be broken, but you just have to keep on going. That's the way it goes on a love's train. On a moonlight lady wants her baby, so she calls him up. When it ring-a-ling, it only mean one thing. Come on, dial that number. No one answers till it's 2 o'clock. And if by chance you just come on over, girl, I'm saying please, I've got to see you, baby. Ooh, when in need, you said you would be right here. Well, I'm in need, I need you to please believe, please believe. I love you, baby. If you are that special lover, and love keeps you tied to another, that's the way it goes on love's train. You don't need no ticket to ride. Sometimes heartstrings can't be broken, but you just have to keep on going. That's the way it goes on a love's train. Listen, baby, it keeps on you've been soaking, but you just have to keep on stroking. That's the way it goes on a love's train. Love's a hurting thing, y'all, makes you wanna cry. Come on. If you are that special lover, and love keeps you tied to another, that's the way it goes on a love's train.
We were undergrad, stayed out late, never made it to class. Out of restaurant in a taxi cab. You were sweating bullets on the way to my dad's and all. You said, baby, think we're moving too fast. I swear the magnolias flashed a smile, and that's when you caught me hoping you'd stay a while. Baby, I'd give up anything to travel inside your mind. Maybe I'll fall in love again come every summertime. Daddy taught me to choose it wisely, but you don't have to try. 'Cause maybe I'll fall in love every summertime. 25 and we're missing church. Laugh about everyone we're hating at work. Dinner with your sister and the joke's gonna hurt. Cry the way home and you're putting me first. Oh, yeah. You just always know what to say. We're strolling
Hi, Miles.
Hi, sorry.
How are you tonight?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Awesome. All right. So how this is going to work is that you'll have 5 minutes for your speech, and then we'll have a 5 minute Q&A session afterwards. And Richard will be our time card keeper. He'll give you a 2 minute warning and a 1 minute warning. He'll give a sign up on the screen, and also he'll say it in the chat as well. Do you
Okay.
have any other questions before we begin?
I think I should be good, thank you.
All right. Whenever you're ready, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. My name is Miles Jupio. I am a member of the Filipinx Interest Organization at Loyola University Chicago, CAPWA. I am currently a marketing and information systems double major, and here today I am to show my interest in the positions of either director of marketing or event coordinator for the Mafa 2023 to 2024 executive board. So during my past term as Cooper coordinator, also known as our mentorship branch at CAPWA, with the help of my fellow coordinators, Jan Aguas and Kristen Jose, we graciously managed to have 9 events during our term, including social gatherings, karaoke nights, volunteering events, and an event that entailed a social space that fostered vulnerable discussions about Filipino identity here in America. All of this together leads me to this point. The Filipino community at my school, Loyola University Chicago, is one that I hold close to my heart. Additionally, the positive experiences I've had with other member schools within Mafa, including Kaibigan of Northwestern, VIA of UIC, and Kalahi of DePaul, and additionally PSA of Urbana-Champaign, has led me to this point. There is so much unity, drive, and passion when we are all collectively together. After that realization, I hope to further expand the connection and collaboration amongst our member organizations and continually increase awareness of Mafa and the Mafa sphere. Additionally, I am also one of the coordinators of Musica for the next academic school year. And to be brief with some of our plans, we do intend to have collaborations with Kaibigan and VIA. With that in mind, I want to give back to the community that has given me so much kindness and goodwill. And as a result, I now want to function as a representation of said community and seek to bridge my own community to the greater community that is what Mafa has to offer. While I agree with Mafa's purpose, I aim to be more clear about the reason Mafa exists, and as quoted on Mafa's website, to promote unity and cooperation amongst Filipino and Filipino Americans around the Midwest by promoting Filipino culture and Asian American awareness. While Mafa is well known, across the Mafa sphere organizations, as I stated before, I hope to increase its awareness amongst more casual members of our member organizations and continue to use my marketing skills as a marketing major to my advantage, especially on social media platforms such as our website, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you. I was hoping to do something similar to the Independence Day post from a few days ago and potentially having a system in place to send member organizations things to post on their social media, such as infographics made by Mafa or specific movements/causes Mafa may potentially support, such as national disaster relief funds to the Philippines. To have Mafa to be a name regularly seen in our member organizations is the dream. While still not physically being there is a dream of mine, and I want our presence to be known. Additionally, my primary goals and ambitions for a potential term on Mafa's board is to further the scope of diversity and inclusion that the Mafa community has to offer. I want to hone in on the importance of intersectionalities and that the different communities that exist within the Filipino American community at large. Social justice, commentary, and dialogue are all things I hope to bring to Mafa, whether that be infographics that could be posted on Instagram or bringing awareness to certain issues that we usually do not address on the regular. Particularly using my skills as a business major to help market Mafa across the Mafa sphere and foster collaboration amongst all its organizations. The skills that I bring to Mafa are derivative of the experiences I have dealt with in CAPWA. Moreover, than any time in my life, communication has been important. I always seek to have constructive criticism and feedback so I'm able to continuously grow as time goes on. And ultimately, regardless of what the future holds, I want to give back to the Filipino community here in the Midwest that has led to the person I am now today. I will continue to strive, nurture, and facilitate growth within myself and the peers around me. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. All right, so to begin the Q&A session, I just have a question for you, and then we'll have other questions depending on your role, the positions you've been applying for. So for me, what leadership skills are you hoping to achieve or obtain from the positions you're applying for if you are elected into them?
I hope so my time in Kapwa, I've only been like a staff member, not as an executive board member. So I was hoping to see what it's like to have more responsibility and to see, you know, what good I'm able to do with said responsibility.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Phoenix or Richland, do you guys have any questions for Miles?
I can start with a general one here, Miles. To you, what defines a good event?
I think a good event is one that is like timely. I know a lot of us run on Filipino time, but it's important to have just like an order or like timeline of how the events of a specific event is going to go, and just being open to the participants of the event of what exactly is going on and the steps that we need to do to achieve that.
I can go next. Hi Miles. Very good speech. Loved your ideas. Good job. So start off, what social media accounts do you plan on using, and how would you use it to promote Mafa related initiatives like fundraisers, virtual events, MFAS, etc.? Yeah.
I was hoping to use the website more often. I know it was like it said it was like workshop, and I was looking, you know, just like updating, that's really important. Additionally, I want to take advantage of the functionality of like story posts, and especially having ones that are interactive where people can like send in questions and stuff like that. Just more interaction on social media as much as possible, because we're usually unable to be with each other in person.
Love that, love that. To elaborate, what interaction ideas or story posts do you have in mind?
I really wanted to take advantage of like story highlights. Additionally, I really enjoy doing takeovers and seeing our day-to-day and just being more open of like what exactly Mafa's like processes are, especially like during our meetings and like what we talk about. I also just want to do like I said, the Independence Day thing on my speech, just doing more things like that, or reposting, especially certain infographics or fundraisers, things of that sort.
All right, and then one more question for me. So how do you plan to promote Mafa related initiatives in order to effectively spread the word to the Mafa sphere and increase engagement on our social media?
I really want to, you know, like send emails out to our member organizations. And like I said in my speech, I also had an idea of like basically, so I keep on bringing up the Independence Day speech, but you know, like as director of marketing, a lot of my usage as in that position is going to be on social media. But specifically what I want to do is have a system where I'm in a group chat or email chain with the people in charge of the Instagrams and social medias of our member organizations, and like sending them things to post that reflect specifically on like Mafa's values. So we could spread more awareness of our organization.
All right, awesome. And then I have a question for you as well that I thought of. So one of the positions you're applying for as is event coordinator. And as event coordinator, sometimes conflicts do arise between Mafa executive board and planning committees. How would you handle conflicts between both committees, and how would you handle it in the best way, in your opinion?
Even though like I'm potentially going to be a member of Mafa's executive board, I want to be sure that I'm at least a mediator and I'm hearing both sides of the conflict and letting them tell me what they want to say. And also allowing like both parties to be able to interact with each other and for them to be able to organically resolve the conflict. I think communication is very important. And as long as we're able to talk about our needs, I believe we'll be able to find a solution.
All right, thank you so much. Does anyone else have any other questions for Miles?
One last question from me. So as event coordinator, the process of planning MFAS is a very lengthy one, starting basically right when you're onboarded into the role. Can you talk a little bit about your ability to time manage, especially as, committed to the community as you are?
I try to my best to be very open with the teams that I work with. Like whenever I'm making progress on a task or whenever I need help on a specific task, as long as everything's done in a timely manner, I believe it will be successful. So like I said, communication and being open to like what I've done so far.
Right on. Thanks, Miles.
All right, I think that wraps up our Q&A session. Thank you so much. All right, perfect. So what going for what's going to happen going forward is you'll hear from us in about 2 weeks time about our decision. You'll get an email from me, myself personally, or from the Mafa email, and we'll have our decision by then. So do you have any other questions for us before we let you go?
I mean, I know, I think in the application it talked about just like summer availability. In the future, like what do you guys have planned for this summer, out of curiosity?
Are you talking about when you first get onboarded to the role or towards the back end of your tenure?
Towards the beginning of the role, actually.
That's sort of on, Christian, correct me if I'm wrong too, but that's sort of on an availability basis with new board. Obviously, you'll all be wanting to meet with each other instead of regular meeting time, as well as schedule a meeting with us, and go through any transition, logistics, details, that we both feel necessary.
Yeah, just to elaborate more on that, it's just more of a transition period as well. We've already did our major events there. So it's a lot of onboarding and giving and meeting with each individual position and making sure we transition well and give like experience, like advice based on our experience from the past year. So yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's really insightful, actually.
Mhm.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Any other questions for us?
That's really just my question right now. So thank you.
Of course. All right. Well, thank you so much. You have a wonderful night. And like I said, you'll hear from us in 2 weeks.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Bye-bye. All right. Great job, everyone. We'll debrief later, but you guys have a wonderful night. And thank you so much for being here. See you all later.